What is up, guys? It is your boy Brandon Gross, self-taught designer, coming back at you this Sunday. So today we're going to talk about, should you learn how to code as a designer? Alright, let's get into it. So, should you, as a designer, learn how to code? And I'm actually going to take a little turn for this. Some people on YouTube, they're like yes and no. So I'm going to say yes. So I believe that understanding code is key, because you're working with designers, project managers, designers and developers, you know, they're really in the same, two peas in the same pod. You guys are both creating a product together, and it just makes everything so much easier if you're able to communicate with your developer to create a better product together. Let's give two examples. You have a designer who knows no code, knows nothing about how a developer thinks or goes about solving their problems to actually create a product, and they just create, you know, the user experience and design, and then they just throw that at the developer. And let's say now, after the design is thrown at the developer is then going to take what was just thrown at them and try to solve the problem in the best way he knows, instead of designer and developer coming together and then being able to talk each other's language to then create the best product possible. And that's where the designer gets upset. They didn't do the experience exactly like I gave it to them. Or the developer gets angry at the designer, well, you didn't think about how this design would output an actual real world example. So being able to communicate by understanding code makes being a designer so much better. It allows you to do your work a lot better because you understand how developers think, and therefore at the front end of the process able to create your designs in a way that will easily translate for a developer to understand. Not only to understand, but to walk a developer through your process. So that's from an understanding and communication point of view. Those are really important things as a designer. It's not just creating awesome stuff. Now, getting back to actually writing code. If you want to be the golden designer and be able to write code, understand it, communicate it, and also design, you'll just be that much better. So you have things like automation and actually building actual products. Those are the big things nowadays. Like, if you're a computer science major, you're getting snatched out straight out of college. Or just being snatched up just by understanding how to code. So if you're a designer that's really good at what you're doing, you can understand, not only understand, but you can actually build things via not only HTML front end stuff, but back end, like databases. That is just like a Navy SEAL type designer. So that's the second example. So first here is understanding. So that is a designer that understands who is a great designer but understands each component of the machine that they're in that create a product. So a very good team player, they know how to communicate and they know what they're building, and being able to communicate what they're creating design-wise with the rest of their team, developers, etc. Number one tier is the designer that knows how to do it all effectively. I'm not talking about master of none here. I'm talking a master of very concrete skills, and this is very hard to master. Those are the two layers. You have Navy SEAL designer, which can build and design. You have that under that, the designer that is able to communicate, understand, and also a great designer. Now, I'm gonna do a third tier, is the middle ground of these two. And it is a designer that is able to grow other skill sets. So I talked about this in another video, being a great salesman. You know, I believe as a designer, having salesmanship skills is massively important, because not only are you creating things, you're also able to explain the results from your designs to other people in order for them to understand what the design brings result-wise to them. There's other skill sets you can learn as a designer other than coding that can really put you at an advantage. So that's really what I'm saying. So there's three things I want you guys to get from this. It's not that coding is a should. It is more of like, which direction do you want to go and which type of understanding do you want to be at. You have a designer that is able to understand code and be of extreme asset to their team as a great designer, and being able to communicate with all components of their team to be an effective designer, not only create great things. You have the Navy SEAL designer who is not only a design master but a code master. They can actually build out full-scale projects, front end, back end, and design the whole experience at once. That's like top notch. And then you have a third route where it's not just being tunnel vision and saying, you know, as a designer, the code is the end all be all. There's a whole bunch of other avenues you can take to add on to your design skill to make you a very, very well sought out designer. That's salesmanship, that's being able to code, and that's business skills. Basically what I'm just trying to say is don't get tunnel vision on coding as the end-all be-all of your design career. Think of other spots, other avenues that you could pursue that you could tack onto your design skills to make you that much better. Number one for me has been salesmanship and finding how I can automate processes as a designer, and so I don't have to get back into the meticulous details. I can just set a system and have that run while I do what I need to focus on. Think about those three things which are understanding, being a Navy SEAL designer, and then finding other avenues to tack onto your skill set to become the best designer you can be. So that's it, guys. That's the end of the video. I hope this was helpful. Also, let me know what type of videos you guys want to see as well. I know a couple of you guys want to see tutorials. I let out my first tutorial yesterday. It's a 3-part series on how to create a Webflow website in 30 minutes. Very simple. It gives you like the basics of how to create a website very easily in 30 minutes within Webflow. So other than that, guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and be gross. We'll be here tomorrow. Bye. I'm plugged up the camera again. I really got that. I'm too strong.